Hey guys, welcome to 6 Minutes for Thursday, August 11th. I'm Jason Fulmore, SC Russell, and today, Fat and Scrappy and I break down the Class 4A, Georgia Class 4A top 10, or his top 10 teams. Hopefully you've watched 7A and 6A and 5A. And today's, we delve into 4A. And just to cue you, I think our battery on our microphone or something was out, so it's not as clear a sound as it has been for some of the others, but it's still, perfectly fine because both Lucas and I are exceptionally loud. So that shouldn't be a problem. You just might hear a little bit of white noise behind us as opposed to something cleaner as it relates to the to using an actual microphone. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day and that you enjoy our conversation about Class 4A in Georgia. Have a good one. Welcome to 6 Minutes. I'm Jason Fulmore, SC Russell, and today here with Fat and Scrappy's Lucas DeSilva.
Welcome.
Hey, man.
Welcome to my home, actually. So welcome
Yes.
here, welcome to my home.
We are breaking down the rankings, really early rankings.
Really, really early.
right.
Kind of calling my shot really early here, but
All right, so these will be the team rankings, and what we'll do is we'll go with, after this video, I'll add a different video talking about specific classifications. But we're opening this classification, or opening this video, and opening all the videos with a general methods, right?
Explanation.
How in the world, because Lucas doesn't do duels and tournament rankings, he does one ranking. And for some reason, he's using decimal points. I mean, I didn't know Lucas knew decimal points.
I don't. You ask my math teachers. I don't. I'm not very prolific with them. But so what's funny about this is this is great storytelling because the viewer knows what video they're watching. We don't. They could be watching 3A for all we know. But
That's right. They could
anyway, so basically, the way I do this is I look at a team we'll look at a case randomly, Buford. I'll give them a score for duels at a 5 with decimal points, and I'll give them a score at a 5 for individual with decimal points based on their performances, their lineup, and as the season goes on, these scores will fluctuate. So this is going to be a fluid list. This is currently going into the season with what we know. 5 points is the maximum for duels, 5 points the maximum for individual. Put those two together, you get their power score out of 10.
Okay.
And then it's just pretty simple, highest score in one, so on and so forth.
Now, can two teams, say Camden and Buford, both get a 4.9?
Yes.
Both get a 4.8 or whatever the case is?
So the way I think of it is when it comes to duels...
So it's not like you get a certain points for first and second and third.
No. Like if you're in duels and you're beating most teams by 45, 50, if you're just dominating teams, you're going to get a 5. There could be 3 or 4 teams. In fact, I think I have 4 teams in my list across the 7 classes that got a 5 in duels. I think there's 4 of them, if I remember correctly. So it just kind of depends on... It's relativity mainly, based on how they do against, their competition.
Okay, all right. So we're going to now jump into one of the classifications. Hope you enjoy it. And
which one is it?
All right, thanks for watching the intro. Lucas's math behind how he came up with his rankings. We are on to 4A. Thanks for watching the 4A crew. And lots of changes in 4A,
Biggest turnover in a single classification?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Jefferson's no longer there, right? And Lovett has now moved up. They were, 2A last year.
No Flowery Branch either.
Right, so lots of, and as much as I get frustrated with, I like the rivalries that exist between different teams and everything else. The new classifications give us an opportunity to see different teams against one another.
And you get an opportunity to build new rivalries, which is always a fun part for me. Is you get a chance to...
I agree.
And this is one of those classes where you may not necessarily have a distinct rivalry toward the top of the placard yet. And now there's opportunity to build some, and some fun ones.
Yeah, no doubt.
And,
all right.
And hell, and even before you have the introduction of a whole new school in Seconder.
Yeah.
Shout out Gwinnett County, and they're...
are they in 4A?
Yeah, they're 4A. Yeah, they're in that sub-region B with Cedar Shoals, Madison County, Oconee, and Walnut Grove.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump to our bottom 5 of the top 10. And as you can see, coming in at number 10 is a brand new team to 4A. Do you have Holy Innocents?
Yep. Okay, no, you're right.
All right.
Sorry, I was making sure the numbers were the same. Which
All right, Holy Innocents, who comes way up in class.
From 1 to 4.
Right? We got North Hall, which is a pretty regular team in the 3A, 4A group, area.
Yep.
Troop is number 8. Walnut Grove, which is a team I really like, is number 7. And North Oconee is number 6. So let's start with question number 1 is, how close were these 5 teams from one another, and are you surprised, or are you looking for any particular team?
So as we see, or as we're looking at, you have Holy Innocents coming in at 4.1, and there was a 0.3 point difference between them and the next closest team to the top 10. East Hall came in at number 11, so they were at 3.8. They were just outside the top 10. There was a 0.3 difference, and then you get 4.2 North Hall, Troop at 4.5, and then there's a jump to Walnut Grove at 5.5 and North Oconee at 5.8. I'm high on Walnut Grove and North Oconee. I think they're both teams with some huge upside. Walnut Grove, you have a Landon Moss and the crew. Landon Moss in his senior season, one more run. North Oconee just has a wealth of hungry talent.
And always tough.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Zane and the guys down there, just saw a couple of them when I did my camp at East Jackson. And Walnut Grove, like I said, number 7. The number 7 spot, if you watch the other ones, number 7 accidentally kind of became my prove-it spot, where a lot of teams that fell into that number 7 position have something to prove, and Walnut Grove is, can you run with the big dogs? You know, we've given them excuses in years past. They were young, they were this, they were that. There are no more excuses. Your good guys are in their senior, junior campaigns. You now need to make a run, and I think that they can. I think they have the capabilities, but they haven't proved it yet. So that's why they're in that number 7 spot, a few decimal points behind North Oconee.
Luke is using those decimal points. It's a little scary. All right.
Yeah,
so
that's my math teacher.
Our number 5 team coming in is Heritage.
Heritage at 6.2. Just a solid team, top and bottom. A really, really good core of young lightweights. We know the bag guys, especially when you go from 106 to 126. They're tough as nails down there. Just a really solid team, and a team that has been around that 5, 6, 7 range in these classes before. And in a new look 4A, keep your eyes on Heritage. They really can make some noise in this new look 4A. You know, possibly looking for a trophy this season and possibly come home with 2 trophies.
Do we know the section yet? Has that been announced?
I don't believe it has. I do not believe.
So we know their regions, or as we're getting lower, their areas.
Yeah.
But it'll be really interesting because how the sectionals play out really will have an impact on this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that's where you're going to get some real interesting kind of separation comes in, is when we look at the sectional duels. And this is, the way it works. We know the sections beforehand, which we have seen it play out interestingly when you know the sections going in.
Yes.
So it does provide an opportunity for some really fun, kind of theorizing of, okay, so they're going to finish there, they're going to go here, and it's
you can't help but kind of project.
Exactly, and it's gonna play a big role in the actual result of things.
Yeah. So if anybody out there knows that the sectionals have actually been announced, remember, this is getting released really pretty early. I don't know if the sectionals have been, but they have. Please drop us a line, let us know, because that might inform in some conversations in the future.
Yeah, shoot them over to me or him if they have come out.
All right, number 4, Sonoraville. The rise of the Phoenix, right?
Yes. And the Phoenix are in the top 4. They're in a really strong position in the top 4.
And they're always there. I mean, they're really...
Yeah, no, they've been consistent the past decade. The past decade, they have been a top 5, 6 team in their classification. And this year is no different. A new look to Sonoraville. You graduate...
The Knights.
You graduate the Knight clan, so now...
Is there a Knight back? I don't think there is, right?
I don't believe there is. But beside the Knights, they have their kids. They have some hitters up and down the lineup. Their heavyweights, their backup heavyweights have had the luxury of having possibly the best core heavyweights in the state. Could we say that when we look at 182 and above? Like, just constantly every weight. So for me, there's going to be some questions about them, but I do feel strong enough to put them at number 4 and in a position where I think they're on for a good year.
All right. Our number 3, our Fat and Scrappy's number 3 team is West Lawrence, and this is a first time in a long time minus Chase Horn, West Lawrence squad. Now, let's be honest. I mean, West Lawrence is more than one individual
Obviously.
and everything else. But Chase, I mean, just loved really working with making West Lawrence to that team. He embodied that.
He did everything you could ask of a superstar on a team and more.
Right.
To put that team in the best position to win a state duels championship as they did, knocking off Jefferson, and they actually come in as the lowest rated defending state champion in my rankings. They finished. They're coming in number 3, and not as a slight to them. It's more of a I didn't know how to rank them in certain positions because I'm like, what you did graduate 2 to 3 guys. One of those being Chase Horn. You have to fill a lot of points.
You do,
and it's going to be tough to do that. Can they? I think they can.
So and this is just my opinion, based upon kind of what I think. I always think of West Lawrence being a better dual team than a traditional team.
Absolutely.
Do you have them ranked higher with their duels? And
I think duels, if I remember correctly, they scored a 4.5 in duels. It was just that they got 2.3 individually, because in my head I'm like, you're losing your big point getter. Yeah. So I believe when I looked at the numbers, I think that they lost 72% of their traditional state duels points. So that's a lot to make up.
Yeah.
I think
it's an opportunity for somebody.
Exactly. That's the thing, is that this is an opportunity for someone to step up and really take a swing at things up at the plate. But I believe they returned the 6th most points in 4A at the individual state tournament level. And yes, you could argue with Sonoraville, Lovett, different classifications or different competition, which is fair, absolutely a fair comment. But just outside looking in, they're going to be a good team. They're going to be in that top 5 mix. I think that they will battle for a trophy. It's just, the question is, when we look back at our final rankings in February, the question is going to be, will the depth that now needs to be the stars, did they make that jump? And if they didn't, they'll be in some trouble. If they did, we could be looking at another Raider State title if they make the jump they need to.
All right, number 2, Chestatee. A little surprised.
It surprised me as well, especially when you look. They haven't had any real deep dual runs per se, but
I mean, they're a good team.
Yes, they are a good team.
At number 2, there's a little expectations when you put them up at number 2.
Yes, I'm willing to go on record and say they are a team that has the most to prove, and I think that they can. They've had some really talented teams in years past.
They have, and they have some really good individuals coming back.
And a few of them, and those teams have just failed to hit the mark for one reason or another. Here, you have a good amount of talent. You didn't graduate a whole lot from last season. I believe they returned the 2nd most points, or 3rd most points, somewhere in that range. They return a lot of their points.
Okay.
So, individually, they actually are a better individual team to me. When I did my points, I believe they came out with a 4.2 in individual.
Okay.
And then a 3.7 in dual. So not too far of a difference, but enough that it put them over the edge. I think that they're a fascinating team, and you look at the region they're in as well. You have North Hall, East Hall, Johnson, East Forsyth, and Cherokee Bluff. Their region will test them.
Yeah.
We will see very early how well they really can bang with the real top of this classification.
I agree with you. All right, and the top team, Coach Maldonado's Lovett Crew, which to be honest, they won in 2A. But I don't think that's a slight at all. I mean, you're looking at, Chris Mance, Cale Kuski. They lose Coy, but Lovett's got some kids.
Oh no! Oh, they have hitters up and down their lineup.
Are they the biggest favorites of all the classifications?
No.
Okay.
There's one favorite we're going to get to later that I might be willing to bet parts of my body on.
In another episode.
In another classification. There's one that I'm willing damn near to bet a part of my body on. But anyways, Lovett is a favorite. They come in as heavy favorites, 8.7 rated to 7.9 rated Chestatee. Not that I think that it's an unclosable gap for some of these schools, but we talk about teams looking to take home double number 1s this season. I think you look at Lovett, the Lions, that they return most of their talent. Maldonado is one of the most underrated coaches in the state until this season. Until last season, people talked about him, but he just won Coach of the Year.
He did?
He is now...
Congratulations, coach.
You deserve it, and all your flowers, you deserve all of them, genuinely. A fantastic coach, I love it. But they haven't got he hasn't gotten the publicity and the eye that some other coaches have throughout the state and throughout the years.
Right.
He now has that, because it is deserving. So now we see...
So now, is there a little bit of pressure with an expectation?
I was going to say, there is now some expectations. And not that that's a bad thing. It's an honor to have those expectations. But now you have to match them. And that's where it gets fun, is I think that they will. Obviously, looking at my ranking, I think they will.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we have to have this conversation again at the end of February and say, okay, did they meet the mark?
All right, so that's our that's Fat and Scrappy's top 10. Love it.
I'm going to say one thing about this classification and one school specifically.
Okay.
That is outside the top 10. Because I couldn't rank this team. Second, the new school out of Gwinnett County.
Okay.
I've heard a lot about their program, and coach...
They're on social media a lot.
They're on social media a lot, and their staff is doing all the right things.
Yeah, I mean, they're working this summer, doing summer duels.
And they have 8 to 9 kids already. And
right.
They have 2 to 3 girls, and that's the crazy thing. I'm not going to say that by the end of the year they're going to be ranked in the top 10. I'm not going to go that far, because again, you still have to get the rest of the pieces together.
Well, and they sit in a region that's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, you're sitting in arguably the toughest region in all 4A. But you want a team for the next 5-6 years to watch for? Go look at secondary. Go look at the Jaguars. I'm very high on the Jaguars. I think that they have a very good future ahead of them.
Okay. So, Lovett, Chastity, West Lawrence, from Norville, Heritage, North Oconee, Walnut Grove, Troop, North Hall, and Holy Innocents rounds out the top 10.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys tuning in for 4A. Swing back by about September, maybe October, and see if Fat and Scrappy here has changed his mind about the top 10.
Again, Grappler and Super 32, if we see some very solid individual performances, it will absolutely change these rankings.
Yeah. All right. You guys take care. See ya.